We can't say the future without AI. I mean, there's no way around it. 50% of workers now believe AI is going to improve their experience. When I come into the meeting room, I need a way to incorporate my AI with what's going on in the meeting. It's almost a bring your own AI type of a concept. Most of what we do in our day-to-day is going to change significantly.
Hear the latest AV trends and predictions in this episode of Crestron's Smarter Spaces podcast on your preferred podcast platform.
We do what we do, and that's what makes a lot of our departments so amazing, because we just, no matter what we do, the classrooms, no matter what, they have to go. The events have to go on. So we're just, and we'll keep on keeping on no matter what. So, okay, so I brought the mood down a little bit with that one. I am so sorry.
Thanks for getting us off to such a fluffy, light entertainment start.
Hello, AV friends, and welcome to another episode of EDTech. So, of course, as you can tell, this is a little bit of a different episode today, but today we have one of our members of the regular EdTech crew of awesome higher ed AV professionals. We've got Ernie Bailey with us. Hello, Ernie.
Hey, Aaron. Glad to be here today.
Excellent. And we also today, our special guests, we have Drew Middleton from John A. Logan College.
Happy to be here. Thank you.
And also Tim Van Oort from Rutgers.
Hey, how you doing, Aaron? Hey, Ernie.
Hey.
Good to see you, Drew.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for joining me on this busy kind of InfoComm time. Even though Friday tends to be a little bit of a down day, people start heading home and whatnot, but today's a good day to get into those booths that you didn't before, because now they're a little more free and stuff. So that's always nice. And if you like the swag, Friday's the day to go, because nobody wants to bring that stuff home. So how about we start off? I'm going to start off with Drew. Since you're new to our show, tell us a little bit about what you do at John A. Logan.
So currently I work in technology support, so anything from responding to like classroom technology issues to setting up conferences to setting up audio equipment for events and whatnot. We're kind of like a one-stop shop, and we do a bit of everything.
Excellent. Wow.
Yeah.
And Tim, tell us about what you do at Rutgers, because I know you recently had a bit of a shift and a change, and
Yep. Yeah, for 10 years I was down at Rutgers, New Brunswick, the main campus that everybody's very familiar with, Rutgers football and all that. And I recently took a position at Rutgers Newark, which is a smaller campus, but it's a little bit closer to home, which was the driving force behind that. And I'm doing pretty much the same stuff. We're still supporting classrooms and special events. I've got some now I've got digital signage and LMS responsibilities that have kind of tagged along with that as well. So, some new challenges and things like that. So it's exciting, and still just as involved as HETMA as I always have. So that doesn't change.
Absolutely. I love it. Okay, so why we're here, InfoComm. So, Ernie, what did you see? What's good out there? Anything new that's really standing out?
I don't know that we saw a whole lot of new things. We saw a lot of improved things. We're seeing a lot of more people building complete packages. So it's the one-stop shop for a conference room or a Zoom room, Teams room. All the stuff provided, in one box or one pallet from the same manufacturer. So everything is designed to work together and to be as seamless as possible. I think we're seeing that, like I said, from a whole lot of other people. Another thing that I've really noticed this year is that we're seeing a lot of security updates to the firmware and the software packages that we're seeing, which goes right along with what we talked about at the HETMA Summit. And it was exciting to see that we've got some people who have been kind of stragglers on the security side stepping it up this year. So, that's one thing I've really liked seeing.
Absolutely. It's so important these days, and especially it seems like a lot of universities are a bit under attack when it comes to security threats and stuff. So it's good to see that our manufacturer partners are keeping up their side of the bargain. How about you, Drew? Did you see anything?
Oh, everything that I've seen has it's been amazing. Like, so this is my first InfoComm, of course. There's just too much, to be honest. It's overwhelming. I think probably my favorite booth here would have to be HETMA. And I say that because, like, it's great to see all of the equipment and manufacturers and everything, but HETMA, the focus is really on connections and, meeting with people.
Networking is one of the biggest things I get out of coming to InfoComm.
Precisely.
Your first one. I think I've been to about 30.
Oh, wow.
So, and the relationships, the connections, the networking is the main driving point for being here now.
No, absolutely, because a lot of times you can see all of this equipment and stuff online. It's been, like the internet has come a long way since the first InfoComm. So now you can see all of these things that are released online eventually, and eventually your rep's going to get out and talk more about this stuff. But it's really getting those face-to-face interactions with people that like really make the difference at InfoComm.
Yeah, absolutely.
I was going to say that we yesterday and today there's been events with Next Level Learning. And we've been taking part in them. Like right now, Ryan Gray and Britt Yenzer are taking part in a Tech Tangle. And yesterday, myself, Brittany Grant, and Josh Kaufman took place in an amazing race style event. And it was kind of funny because you talk about networking, and as I'm like running through the halls and on the floor, I'm like having to stop and say hi to people as I'm like flying by, and it's like the other groups, one was a high school group and the other one was a college group, like they didn't probably have that problem because when you've been in the industry long enough, you start to meet people and network and really get to find out who people are. And the networking piece, like, and the experience really played a huge factor in that. So, and it was also nice to see other events like that happening on the show floor. I think that brings new life into things here. So it'll be exciting to see where we go with those sort of things in the future.
Oh, absolutely. But Tim, did you see anything? Any actual tech out there?
Yeah, I did actually. So aside from that, yesterday was my day, on the floor. I was I don't even think I really was here except for an hour at happy hour, I got a chance. I went over on the other side. I've noticed, just from my observations, it looks like a lot of people are more interested in direct view LED this year because the manufacturers that are over on that end, like they were very busy. And in talking to a couple of the reps that I know, they were saying, we are busier than we anticipated, which, I mean, it speaks to something. And they also have all-in-one units now.
Right.
So you could get a 136-inch display with conferencing built in and all the parts and pieces. And now I don't know the pricing yet, but it is there and available, and it's on a movable cart. So if you needed to push it off to a different room or get it out of a multi-purpose space, you could do that. So I think, and it's now getting very cool to the touch too. Like the days of warm LEDs are kind of over. So it's really exciting to see. I think that sort of movement going forward. But don't tell our projection companies that.
But I feel like in higher ed, I think that's a big kind of talking point, I think, at this point is projectors versus like a large monitor or direct view LED kind of setup. And it depends. Like a lot of my spaces still they're going to be projection just because we need all that wall surface for those chalkboards.
Yeah, but at the same time, like you said, with the pricing and everything, we have some larger auditoriums that we were using 20 to 25,000 lumen projectors. I can put a 165-inch display in for the same price as a replacement projector and lens. And it gives us the contrast ratio you don't get with the projectors. You can actually have black on the screen now.
Sure.
Oh, absolutely. So, Drew, kind of, you started touching on a little bit of you being a first timer here.
Yep.
How has that experience been for you?
It's, well, again, I mean, it's been amazing, of course. It's a bit tough to say because, like, I feel like my baseline knowledge of AV equipment coming into this was maybe just a bit above, like, the average person. So this has been a great experience to learn what new technologies are out there and, like, what we could possibly implement into our learning spaces. So it's been very educational, I would say.
Good. And you've survived. Like, you're not... and I mean, it's a miracle. My voice is not as terrible as usual. A lot of times when I end up doing recordings at InfoComm or any trade show, they end up being just awful sounding because my voice is usually gone by this point. But did pretty well to take care of it.
I did not expect it to be this physically demanding. I'm not going to lie. I thought there would be more chairs around, you know. I think I got like almost 30,000 steps yesterday.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I was walking.
Oh, my goodness. I thought I got a lot, but then again, I've just been kind of like walking back and forth in the booth mostly. I really haven't sadly gotten to see much actual technology. But the couple of things that I have seen were pretty neat. The Screen Beam's doing some cool things. X10, they've got some neat things going on. So I'm excited to try to take some time today to check it all out. But yeah, I guess we'll see how it goes. But Drew, now that you've been through this, what would be your advice to a first timer for next year?
I would say definitely like try to plan out what you want to see and prioritize different technologies that you're interested in. Drink a lot of water. Eat food when you can. It's important to rest. Yeah, just relax and have a good time, honestly. Well, and come to heaven.
Yeah, of course. Well, you do bring up water, and that's a good thing because, like, if you're planning to come to Vegas next year, that's huge.
Yes.
Because that dry heat gets to you real fast. So, yeah, you should actually prep before you even leave. Like, you should start drinking because, actually James King was the one that brought it up, and he's getting a shout out. So hopefully he'll repost this. He, since he's out that way, specifically was like, you need to, because your body, it takes like a full day to get hydrated before you start. So you need to prep before you even land, in Vegas. So
right, that's really good advice. Yeah, because I never really thought about that. But yeah, if you're already starting at a deficit, it's going to be that much harder to try to catch up.
Right. Yeah.
Same thing. Step up your walking before you come. Get your legs and feet used to it, and get some good shoes, good walking shoes or hiking boots for the show floor.
Absolutely.
No, absolutely. So let's see. So Orlando, where we are. What is your favorite place to go when you're here? I mean, I know a lot of times we don't end up getting a whole lot of free time to go, but there are some neat places you might have heard of that are in Orlando. But what would be your favorite place?
I like anything at Point Orlando. It's a good mix of entertainment, food, drinks. They have some rides there. A lot of just, you see families together, as well as a good place to visit, to hang out, and find whatever you're looking for in that area.
Good tip.
Yep. I think if you would have asked me before coming here on InfoComm, I would have said probably Universal Studios. But now I kind of have to agree. It's got to be the Point. There's just so much in such a small area, and it's been very close to our hotel, so we've just been able to walk on over, and it's been an awesome experience.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for people who know me, I'm a Disney fan. So, like, I'm home right now in Orlando, but outside of the Disney experience, I actually, the Point, I think, is but specifically Howl at the Moon, where Midwich did their party.
Yeah.
Because they've got the dueling pianos, like, the drinks are good, the food is good, and even though there was a huge crowd for that party, it was cramped, but it didn't feel uncomfortable, which is amazing for a venue to be able to be like that.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
So, and that's the second time that they've had their party there, at least the second time that I'm aware of that they had their party there. So, but yeah, I think that's my must-do location.
Absolutely. Yeah, no, the dueling pianos are so much fun, especially since they've added the messages that you can pretty much buy to put up on the screen. So that always, sometimes I know 2 years ago there was some scandalous stuff that was put up, so it was not great. But as far as I saw this year, everybody kept it clean but funny, and that's always a neat thing. For me, I probably I'm like the opposite of Tim. I'm not anti-Disney. I went a few years ago with my family. It was like, oh, okay. It redeemed itself from when I was a kid. But yeah, for me, I guess just purely because of fun memories, the Icon Park area is a lot of fun. Another place that's similar to the Point, where there's lots of things to do in entertainment areas, and we kind of have started a HETMA tradition where the Saturday night, I think it is, after we're done with our booth, setting up booth build for the day, we head down there, have a few beverages, and then we end up on the train. So there's like this little train that kind of goes out and around the Icon Park, and so we're grown adults who get on this train that was probably intended for children, but we're just giant children sometimes, and it's just a lot of fun. So if you ever volunteer to help with booth build early, that's kind of something funny that we've started doing. So all right, we can start kind of closing this out a little bit. But what are your thoughts on this year? Because with higher ed kind of being in a tough spot right now with so many different things, with research, things changing, international students, it's kind of like higher ed's getting hit from a few different angles, and it's kind of a tough time, and some schools have made decisions to kind of put a pause on travel or limit budgets and stuff like that. So how are you guys faring? We've kind of got a variety of schools here. So I'm just kind of wanting to get a little pulse check on, on how things are with your school. How about you, Ernie?
Our school, we're not seeing a lot of changes right now. We're kind of in the middle of the country, down south, and while things are being observed, nothing has hit on the technology side of education right now. We're watching and waiting for any budget cuts that may come across. We have not seen any. We're continuing to grow. We keep our classrooms up. Education is paramount, and especially when we're in a health science environment, we've got to keep our healthcare providers trained, educated, and out there. And we also deal with a lot of research, and we are a large hospital as well that we have to take care of everyone. So that all those things work together to kind of keep us stable, I think. And coming to an educational conference like HETMA Summit tied to InfoComm made it a fairly easy sell for me, and brought two of my staff with me here.
Love hearing that. How about you, Drew? How are things at John A. Logan?
Well, I feel like a good word just to define the year has been uncertainty. There's just a lot that seems up in the air. And also, I'm pretty new in my role, so I don't have that baseline again to compare current events now to what it was like in the past. But, I can kind of extrapolate what that was like before. But yeah, there's the concern about enrollment. There's the concern about, are we providing our students with the tools that they need and the learning spaces that they need to really succeed, not just in our area, but also in the wider community.
Yeah, I'm still kind of getting adjusted to Rutgers Newark because they have their own campus environment and everything like that. They are really still celebrating the community there, which I think is really nice. As a smaller university entity, it's they do a lot of like faculty events and staff events and stuff like that, so they're still maintaining that. We are going through leadership change as well right now because Rutgers as a whole is getting a new president that has been selected and will be starting on July 1. We are getting a new chancellor of the Rutgers Newark campus. She is starting on August 1st, so we are going through some major leadership changes on top of the now, I mean, it's no secret that Newark in general has been going through some activity. I guess is probably the best way of explaining it without getting, not that has any direct impact on the campus, but it is in our community. But overall, I think the outlook is positive. Everyone's trying to keep, we've been making our decisions and communicating. There have been opportunities for folks to, if they get letters regarding grants and things like that, they've been able to submit them, and legal's been getting involved as they need to. And so we have a good process in line to keep things going as best as we can. And, things seem to be going okay. So we're kind of hanging in there. And from an international student perspective, it's going to be unfortunate because that's, for some universities, that's been a major impact. We're kind of in that same ballpark as that, as a state university and things like that. Like some of them, especially on graduate level programs, they come to us for those. So it's going to be a kind of a wait and see kind of thing.
No, absolutely. Yeah, wait and see. I feel like is very much the saying for the times. I mean, right now, right before InfoComm, it was kind of announced that we would have no unnecessary travel. Sorry. Ask for forgiveness later, I guess. And also a hiring freeze. So which is kind of unfortunate because my team really needs some new team members on our classroom side and on our event side, but we're going to have to pause that, I guess, for now, and hope maybe we can justify it with HR and they'll change their minds, make an exception for us or something. But I feel like there's so many areas that they're like, well, we really need that position too. So I get that there's going to have to be some tough decisions made. That I'm going to have to try to do more with less, as per usual. And I think that's sort of the phrase for a lot of us in higher ed AV. We're always doing more with less. And I don't really like that, but we do what we do, and that's what makes a lot of our departments so amazing, because we just, no matter what we do, the classrooms, no matter what, they have to go. The events have to go on. So we're just, and we'll keep on keeping on no matter what. So, okay, so I brought the mood down a little bit with that one. I am so sorry. So, all right, let's, to wrap this up, how about everybody say one word that kind of encapsulates the InfoComm experience. I know that was a tough one to throw on you guys at the last minute here.
I mean, I have one. It came straight to mind. It was overwhelming. But overwhelming in a good way, of course.
In the best way possible.
Yeah.
For me, energizing, actually.
Okay.
And because this is like being here with everybody and being, HETMA and going to see the vendors and everything like that, and having these opportunities to connect and even like do podcasts and things like that. Like that gets me reinvigorated and gets me, especially when we're about to run into summer project season. I'm ready to go. Like this is, I'm gonna probably fall asleep for the entire weekend when I get home, but I'm still ready to go on Monday morning to get back to work. So
that's awesome.
Any word from you, Ernie?
Community. Everybody together and seeing how we can work together, seeing the unified systems that we're seeing, and things like that. I think that's the best word I can come up with.
I love it because this year's HETMA theme for the booth was Camp HETMA. And it was basically because I always said, InfoComm reminds me of summer camp because this is the time when I get to see all my friends from all over the place, and we just get together and have fun and do what we do. But I think the one word that I was thinking of besides community is vibrant. It is just such a, like, you can hear the din in the background. Like, it is Friday morning, like, but there are still people out here, and then we've got the brightness of a big some membership lounge next to us, and it's just so active and wonderful. And it's been that way pretty much the whole time. So it's so wonderful to see. So I'll go around and ask everybody how anybody could get in touch with you if they wanted to after this episode. Ernie?
I'll start it out. LinkedIn is the best way to get a hold of me.
Excellent. How about you, Drew?
Yeah, LinkedIn.
Well, I mean, I could list all the socials and stuff like that.
Well, but absolutely plug the podcast.
Okay, there you go. So yeah, on top
at
of
least.
well, I think I've done it to Tim a couple times too, so I really can't complain too much. But anyway, yeah. So at T Van Woert on X, Twitter, whatever you want to call it, LinkedIn, Tim Van Woert. The AV Life, so the AV Life Pod on X and Twitter, YouTube, all your favorite podcast streaming services, and HETMA.org, higheredav.com, and all those wonderful sites. So you can find me somewhere out there.
Fantastic. And as for me, you can find me on LinkedIn, on X at smearin_off_ice, on the HETMA community, and each month here on AVNation's EdTech podcast. That can be found on YouTube or wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts. You can also find other AVNation podcasts like Women in AV, AV Career Mastermind, State of Control, and more. See you next time.
The network for the AV industry.
What are you listening to?
This
is AV.
This
is AVNation.
This is AVNation.
Hello, this is Steve Greenblatt, host of AVNation's A State of Control podcast. Each month, Rich Fregosa and I explore trending topics related to control programming and automation in the audiovisual industry. We speak with a variety of AV professionals who share their perspectives, knowledge, and experiences. Please join us for this monthly conversation. Check out A State of Control on avnation.tv or wherever you get your podcasts.